Ever met someone who handles chaos like it's a Sudoku puzzle while you panic because your coffee lid wasn't tight? Yeah, that's not magic. That's mindset. Mental strength isn't about being emotionless. It's about not spiraling when your Wi-Fi lags during a Zoom call. Most people train their abs. Few train their thoughts. And then wonder why life feels like a boss battle on level 1. But today, we're flipping the script. You're going to learn how to stop crumbling over dumb stuff and start handling hard stuff like it's your part-time job. Let's build a brain so solid, even your past self would be scared of it. Section 1. The mindset shift that changes everything. Ever notice how the most mentally strong people often have the messiest backstories? Not just a little oops, I spilled my coffee kind of messy. More like I failed publicly, got rejected, cried in a bathroom stall, then came back stronger, messy. Meanwhile, the rest of us panic if the Wi-Fi cuts out mid-YouTube. Here's the thing, if life feels hard, that's not a glitch. That's the level you're on. And if it feels too easy, you're probably playing on tutorial mode. No XP, no loot, just vibes. Psychology studies show that when your brain faces small amounts of stress, it gets better at handling bigger stress later, kind of like a mental workout that makes you tougher over time. In other words, struggle makes you stronger, not weaker, if you don't quit halfway. Think of your brain like a gym. Comfort is the couch. Discomfort? That's your personal trainer yelling, keep going one more time. Sure, it's annoying, but it's how you grow. When people avoid discomfort, they're basically skipping mental gym day forever. The result? Their thinking muscles go out of shape. Suddenly, a rude email feels like a personal attack. One setback, entire week ruined. Mentally strong people flip the script. They don't just get through hard stuff, they train with it. They see failure as feedback, not a final result. They see discomfort as proof they're in the arena, not the audience. Here's the unexpected truth. You don't need fewer problems. You need stronger problem-solving muscles. Life will throw curveballs, flat tires, ghosting, canceled plans, surprise bills. You don't build strength by avoiding them. You build strength by saying, cool, let's do this. Mental toughness isn't a personality trait. It's a choice, a habit, and a mindset. And the best part? You don't need to be born with it. You just need to start choosing discomfort on purpose. Section 2. Real story. The girl who got rejected and got stronger. You ever get rejected so hard it makes you question your entire existence? Like, not just, we're going with another candidate, but more like, we'd rather hire a potato with Wi-Fi. That was Sofia. Fresh out of college, resume polished, dreams high, and reality brutal. 40 job applications in, and the only response she got was basically, thanks but no thanks. According to a Harvard Business Review study, repeated rejection, especially job-related, can reduce confidence by up to 30%, unless people reframe the experience as growth rather than failure. Sofia could have spiraled, and for a minute she did. There were tears, ice cream, rage scrolling LinkedIn. But then she did something unexpected. She opened Google Sheets and typed a title that said, Operation I Refuse to Be Broke. That tiny choice changed everything. She applied to 5 jobs every single day. She picked one new skill to learn every week: Excel, Canva, Photoshop, even how to write emails that didn't read like auto-replies from a robot. Sometimes she got ghosted after interviews. Once she got a job offer, accepted it, and never heard from them again. Did she scream into the void? Yes. Did she stop? Not even once. 6 months later, she was working a remote job, running a freelance side hustle, and mentoring other grads who felt like hot LinkedIn failures. Not because she manifested success, but because she built mental strength like a habit. One application, one rejection, one lesson at a time. Sofia didn't wait for the world to give her a break. She became the break. The lesson? Mentally strong people don't take rejection personally. They take it strategically. They turn no into not yet. And that's not magic, that's muscle. Section 3. Stop doing these 3 things seriously. Want to stay mentally weak forever? Perfect. Just do these three things religiously: complain, seek comfort, make excuses. Congratulations, you've just joined the holy trinity of brain mush. Every time you complain, your brain quietly rewires itself. Not for greatness, not for growth, but to avoid responsibility. It trains itself to look outward instead of inward. It's not me, it's the weather, it's the boss, it's the alignment of the moon. Your problems don't disappear, they grow legs. They run faster, louder. Meanwhile, your mental toughness? It forgets how to walk. Complaining is cardio for victimhood. You get really good at being powerless. Comfort? It starts like a warm blanket. But give it time and it becomes a padded cell. Netflix, Uber Eats, scrolling endlessly to avoid mildly uncomfortable thoughts. You end up imprisoned by the exact things that used to feel like treats. Excuses are especially dangerous. Why? Because they sound smart, logical, even protective. But in reality, they're just lies dressed in a suit. They tell you, let's skip the gym today, you've earned it. But really, you just hired weakness to be your personal assistant. Mental strength doesn't get built during spa days. It's carved in the trenches, on the days when quitting would be easier and no one would blame you. That's the test. That's the moment. If your go-to move is blame the universe for this mess, you're outsourcing your entire life to imaginary forces. You don't need another motivational quote. You need fewer escape routes. Stop complaining, solve. Stop seeking comfort, seek challenge. Stop making excuses, make moves. And soon, you'll hear your brain say something it hasn't in a while. Oh wow, we're actually doing this? Cool, let's go. Section 4. Daily habits for bulletproof brain energy. If mental toughness were sold in bottles, it'd be constantly out of stock, scalped on eBay for $999, and probably come with a side of inspirational quotes. Luckily, you don't need to buy it. You can build it from scratch. And here's your daily recipe for a mind that doesn't flinch. Habits are not just behaviors, they're identity builders. Do something enough times, and your brain stops asking, should I? It just goes. Repetition carves neural grooves so deep, even your bad moods can't slip you off track. And no, it doesn't need to be a perfect streak. It just has to be intentional. Cold showers. This isn't about being some hardcore tough guy to do this. It's about starting your day choosing discomfort. Because if the first thing you do is conquer something cold and awful, you've already won. You've built momentum. You've told your nervous system, we face hard things. On purpose. Exercise. Moving your body is moving your mood. A strong back gives you more than posture, it gives you presence. You walk into rooms differently once you've faced your inner struggles. Meditation. You don't have to chant or float. You just need to shut up and breathe. Because mental noise is like background app drain, it kills clarity. Meditation is how you close the tabs. Daily hard thing. One small annoying task. That's it. Delete an app, eat the broccoli, finish the email. It's not about the size, it's about the signal. You tell your brain, we do hard stuff here. These habits aren't impressive, they're invisible, but they stack up. You won't wake up tomorrow feeling like a superhero. But one day soon, you'll notice something weird. That drama that used to throw you off, blah. That setback that used to spiral you, handled. That foggy brain you lived with, gone. Because now your brain runs like a beast, smooth, silent, and unstoppable. Section 5. Master your emotions before they master you. Emotions are like toddlers with knives, adorable when they're behaving, a full-blown hurricane when they're not. They show up uninvited, make a mess, scream for attention, and sometimes just want a snack. Reacting to every emotion is like handing your car keys to a sugar-high 4-year-old. You might get somewhere, but probably not in one piece. Most emotions aren't reliable narrators. They're impulsive. They exaggerate. They make decisions based on momentary discomfort, not long-term vision. If you believe every feeling you have, you're basically outsourcing your life. to a moody weather app. Mental strength isn't about having no emotions. It's about managing them without letting them drive your day. When something sets you off, pause, take a breath, count to 5 like your dignity depends on it. Not because you're a robot, but because now you're the adult in the room, not your inner panic goblin. Think of emotions as waves. They rise, crash, and pass. You don't build a sandcastle and scream when it gets wet. You learn to surf, you learn balance, timing, presence. Strong minds don't suppress emotion. They outgrow emotional impulsivity. That means feeling deeply but responding wisely. You can be sad and still send the email. You can be anxious and still make the move. You can be furious and still choose silence. You can't stop emotions from showing up, but you can stop them from hijacking your day, your relationships, and your goals. Master your inner world, and the outer world becomes less scary, less chaotic, and a whole lot more manageable. You become unshakable, not because you're numb, but because you've learned to feel without falling apart. Section 6. Failure is your training buddy. Failure's not out to get you. It's your unpaid, unshowered, brutally honest personal trainer. And it does not care about your feelings. Every person you admire, they've failed more times than you've tried. And they didn't just survive those moments, they used them. While most people panic, hide, or spurl, mentally strong people treat failure like a gym session. Painful, sweaty, but worth it. Failure is underrated. It reveals where your skills need work. It exposes your blind spots. It humbles your ego just enough so you're open to growth. No amount of motivational quotes will teach you what screwing up can. You failed? Good. Now you know what not to do. Now you know where the wall is. Now you can learn how to climb it or break it. The problem isn't failure, and it's shame. Shame turns "I failed" into "I am a failure." And that lie, that's what actually breaks people. Strong minds separate the event from their identity. They treat failure like feedback, like an annoying friend who always tells the truth. And the more you normalize it, the less it stings. You fall, you laugh, you adjust, and you try again. That's how confidence is built, by surviving what scared you. Fail early, fail creatively, fail forward, but don't quit. Because every lesson you gain from failure is one less punch life can surprise you with. So don't just tolerate failure, train with it. Let it spot you, let it shape you, and keep showing up anyway. Section 7. How to develop an "I don't break" mindset. Life doesn't care if you had a plan. It'll hand you chaos with a side of "Are you serious right now?" Lost your job, got ghosted, soup explosion. Again. Mentally strong people don't waste time asking, "Why me?" They ask, "Now what?" Because they know strength isn't about avoiding struggle. It's about staying focused in the middle of it. The "I don't break" mindset isn't some genetic gift. It's built, brick by brick, response by response. When bad things happen, and they will, most people break down. Breakup, emotional push-up time. Got rejected, ego bench press, missed a deadline. Time for patience cardio. It's not denial, it's strategy. You turn problems into puzzles. You stop seeing yourself as cursed and start seeing yourself as forged. Resilience isn't about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally fluent. You recognize the pain, then build a path forward anyway. You pivot, you process, and you proceed. Because mentally strong people don't wait for life to get easier. They train for when it doesn't. You don't need life to go easy on you. You need to become the kind of person who doesn't flinch when it doesn't. When your mindset becomes "bend, don't break," you become unstoppable. And people feel it. Even your soup starts respecting you. Section 8. Motivation is a liar, discipline is the goat. Motivation says, "Let's build an empire." Then disappears at 6 a.m. when it's time to get up. Every single time. Most days you won't feel like doing the thing. That's not a character flaw, that's just the human brain, being lazy to conserve energy. Unfortunately, your biggest threat today is your to-do list. Discipline is what shows up when feelings don't. It's the reliable roommate of success. Not flashy, not dramatic, but consistent. And in a world where everyone's looking for the next dopamine hit, discipline is your competitive edge. It's not about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about building systems so that your default mode is progress. You don't argue with yourself every morning. You create a routine that makes action automatic. Go to the gym, even if your motivation is sleeping in. Write one page, even if your creativity says, nah. Do the work, because it needs to be done, not because you feel like it. That's how discipline works. It's not about intensity. It's about reliability, about doing it tired, doing it bored, doing it annoyed, and still doing it right. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the engine. And the real flex, it's not starting when you're inspired. It's finishing when you're not. That's how you earn self-respect. That's how you build unshakable confidence. By being the kind of person who shows up regardless. Final section, you have a choice. Right now in this very moment, your brain's trying to pick a path. One path leads back to comfort. Scrolling, snoozing, settling. The other? That's the one nobody sees at first. Because it starts with a choice. Every decision you make today casts a vote. Not for who you'll be in a week, but for who you'll be in a year. Mental strength isn't a lightning strike, it's a daily ballot. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be on purpose. Every time you show discipline over distraction, that's a vote. Every time you sit with your emotions instead of reacting, another vote. Every time you fail but keep going anyway, vote, vote, vote. This isn't about some superhero transformation. It's about being the person who says, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm done pretending I don't care. You don't need a magical routine, and you don't need a better Monday. You need a start button, one action. Today, maybe it's 5 push-ups, maybe it's writing the first sentence. Maybe it's deleting the app that steals your hours. Whatever it is, pick your vote. One choice will feel good now, the other will feel right forever. And that's the beauty of this whole thing. You don't build mental strength in one big leap. You build it one uncomfortable, honest, intentional choice at a time. So what's it going to be? Smash the subscribe button if you're done being soft and ready to be stick strong. And share this with someone who still thinks mental toughness is genetic.